What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Broadway Joel, the boxing guru, and today we're going to talk about the Canelo Saunders fight and how it turned out. So leading up to the fight, I had picked Canelo to win. I picked him win either by body shot knockout or decision. I didn't make a video. I just didn't have enough time to make a video. But if you follow me on Twitter, you know that that was my pick. Yeah, he and Billy Joe Saunders leading up to the fight was talking a lot of trash, and about a week before the fight was claiming that the ring size wasn't agreed to, that he wanted a 24-foot ring as opposed to the standard 20 by 20 ring. And Canelo was like, you know what, let's just meet in the middle. I'll give you a 22-foot ring. So giving the disadvantage, the advantage to Billy Joe Saunders. Almost like, listen, we're not going to do this back and forth. I'm going to give you what you want, and I'm still going to beat you. And that's exactly what he did. Canelo came out just like real patient, just, you know, not throwing a lot of punches. But when he would throw, he would land, especially to the body, those hard body shots, which is why before the fight, I had picked Canelo to win by body shot. I had picked him to win in the 10th round or a decision, depending, you know, because I knew Billy Joe Saunders was a good fighter, real slick fighter, awkward fighter. And, you know, Canelo has had trouble with slick fighters, whether it be Floyd Mayweather or Trout or Lara. And Trout and Lara are also southpaws, as is Billy Joe Saunders. So that's why I was a little like, he might get some trouble. I didn't think, you know, Billy Joe Saunders would win, but I definitely thought he had an outside chance of winning, like, you know, like a 10%, 20% chance of winning. Just because he's so slick, and he might just want to make the fight boring and move around. But what I didn't take into account is just his lack of power. Like, I don't know if it was his lack of power or Canelo's chin or a combination of both, but it just looked like he couldn't put a dent in Canelo. Like, because Canelo, Billy Joe Saunders was landing shots. He was using his jab. He would, you know, he was throwing the left hand every now and then, and he was. But it just seemed like Canelo was just walking through it, you know. And as well as Canelo also has good defense, so he was dodging and blocking a lot of those punches as well. But he was getting tagged a little bit, but it just, he couldn't hurt Canelo. Canelo's face after the fight was not bruised up, bloody, nothing. So getting back to how the fight came out, Canelo was very patient, just hitting the body shot, following him, cutting down the ring. And I want to say it was around the 5th or 6th round. I want to say it was the 6th round. It looked like Billy Joe got tired. And once that happened, Canelo started landing with more frequency and just more frequency. And eventually, he timed Billy Joe Saunders' defense. Billy Joe Saunders was doing a lot of this, a lot of, you know, ducking and, you know, when Canelo would throw his punches, and it was working. Canelo missed a lot of punches too. You know, he kept. But what Canelo kept doing throughout the fight, and I saw it, was he kept throwing his uppercut, trying to time him ducking from a punch. So I want to say it was around the 8th round. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments section if it wasn't the 8th round. But the 8th round, Canelo timed dodging a right hook. He moved back, cocked his fist. Billy Joe Saunders thought that he was going for a straight right hand, and he timed it perfectly. As Billy Joe Saunders' head is going down, Canelo Alvarez's fist was going up, making the punch a lot more powerful. You know, because it's your force of your head going down as well as his force of his punch going up. And Canelo, everybody knows, is a hard puncher. So when that happened, he broke his eye socket in 3 places. Crazy, I know. So Billy Joe Saunders goes back to his corner, and to be fair, it doesn't look like he argued with his trainer to not stop the fight, but it doesn't look like he told the trainer to stop the fight. It just looks like his trainer looked at his eye, was talking to him, and just told him, you know what, I'm going to stop the fight. But as far as everybody calling him a quitter, on a normal circumstance, I would not call him a quitter, because fighting with a broken eye socket is ridiculous, especially when you're fighting a puncher in Canelo, and he's the #1 pound for pound fighter, meaning he knows he has skills as well to go with that power. I think it's a little ridiculous to call him a quitter, but in the past, Billy Joe Saunders has criticized Daniel Dubois for taking a knee when he had an orbital bone broken in the fight against Joe Joyce. And he said that he would go out in his shield. His pulse will have to, not be running, stop pumping, and this and that, and talking all this crap about how he's never going to quit, never going to do that. And that's why people are going very heavy-handed, very, you a quitter, you a this, you a that. When normally people would be more sympathetic, the guy had a broken orbital bone, and he's fighting the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world who's also a puncher. Is like, on normal circumstance, we wouldn't call him a quitter. But since you put that title, that you a warrior and that you will go out on your shield, people are going to hold you to that standard. So since you quit, or at least you didn't fight to go out on another round, people are going to label you a quitter. And don't expect to have sympathy for you, because your face was broken, when you didn't have sympathy for Daniel Dubois when he fought Joe Joyce and has his orbital bone broken. But all right, guys, that's my video. Definitely hit a like, subscribe, comment. Follow me on Twitter at @BroadwayJoel. No, @_BroadwayJoel, excuse me. And all right, guys, peace.